Right now, I want to speak directly to every man over 60 who still values his sexual vitality. Because whether you admit it or not, your private habits may be quietly draining the very strength you're trying to protect. This isn't about blaming or shaming. In fact, very few men ever hear the truth. Most are left to figure it out alone, assuming that weaker erections, fading sensitivity, or a lack of drive are just the price of aging. But I've seen again and again in my clinic that the real story is very different. I'm Dr. Rebecca Hayes, and for many years of work, I've helped senior men navigate the tricky balance between intimacy, health, and confidence. And I can tell you, masturbation is not simply good or bad. The difference lies in how you approach it. Done with awareness, it can actually support circulation, hormone balance, and mental clarity. Done without thought, it can quietly strain your heart, fog your brain, and leave you feeling drained. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 hidden risks of self-pleasure that almost no one talks about. And I'll show you practical ways to turn this habit into a source of strength rather than weakness. You'll even learn a simple, natural method, something you can do in just 7 seconds, that helps restore firmness and drive without a single pill. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Type 1 in the comments if any of this already resonates with your experience, or 0 if this is new information. And make sure you subscribe, because here we bring honest strategies designed specifically for men over 60 who refuse to settle for decline. Now, let's step into the first risk. And this one doesn't target your body directly. It goes after your emotional well-being in ways you may never have expected. Risk 1: energy drain and fatigue. Many men believe that sexual release always leaves the body lighter, calmer, and more energized. That may have felt true in your 30s or 40s. But after 60, your system doesn't bounce back the same way. Instead of charging your batteries, frequent self-release can act like a slow leak you don't notice until the tank is nearly empty. Let me share the story of Robert, a 68-year-old retired engineer. He lived a steady life, walked every day, ate well, and got decent sleep. But no matter how carefully he managed his routine, he felt drained. His words to me were, "Doctor, I wake up tired and go to bed tired, like someone stole my battery overnight." He was embarrassed to admit that he leaned on self-pleasure as a stress reliever, sometimes daily. What Robert didn't know is that every climax pushes up cortisol, the body's stress hormone. A small rise is natural, but frequent spikes, especially in an older body, demand more and more resources to calm the system down. Recovery slows, muscles ache longer, energy production lags. Instead of feeling restored, you walk away weaker, and that weakness builds silently week after week. And here's the deeper danger. Fatigue makes you skip exercise. Less activity means weaker circulation and muscle loss. Over time, even your immune system and brain sharpness can start to suffer. What feels like a minor dip in energy is really the start of a chain reaction that robs you of vitality. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up sexual pleasure. You simply need to pace it wisely. Most men over 60 do best with no more than 2 or 3 sessions a week, leaving rest days in between. That rhythm gives your hormones and circulation time to reset. Support recovery with good hydration and nourishing foods. Lean proteins, leafy greens, and plenty of minerals like magnesium. Your body isn't telling you to stop, it's telling you to slow down and recover. When you respect those signals, energy starts coming back. You wake up fresher, you move with more ease, and instead of draining you, sexual expression becomes one piece of your strength. And fatigue is only the beginning. There's another risk. This one doesn't leave your body heavy, it rewires your brain. And once that shift begins, it can trap you in a cycle that's hard to escape. Risk 2: brain and dopamine rewiring. Many older men believe that frequent release keeps desire strong. Use it or lose it, they say. But the truth is more complicated. After 60, your brain's chemistry doesn't react the same way it did decades ago. What once sharpened your mood and gave you a spark can, over time, dull the very system that makes pleasure possible. It all comes down to dopamine, the messenger of reward and motivation. In younger years, your brain responds to dopamine like a fresh spark on dry tinder, quick and lively. With age, those receptors become less sensitive. That means it takes more stimulation to feel the same satisfaction. If masturbation becomes frequent, the brain starts chasing bigger and bigger sparks just to feel normal. Thomas, a 71-year-old retired principal, described this perfectly. "Doctor," he told me, "it stopped being about pleasure. I couldn't think straight until I did it. It felt like I'd lost control." What began as a private comfort had turned into a daily compulsion that stole his freedom. This happens because the brain adapts to repetition. Each time you release the same way, you carve a deeper groove in the nervous system. Soon, other joys, gardening, reading, even social connection start to feel flat compared to that one repeated act. It's what experts call neurochemical hijacking. Your brain narrows its reward system, locking onto a single craving while everything else fades into the background. But here's the hopeful part. Your brain has neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire itself at any age. By slowing the pattern, you can restore balance. Aim to leave at least a day between sessions. Swap in movement, walking, light weights, or even stretching, since exercise raises dopamine in a steadier, healthier way. Revisit hobbies you've neglected. Call a friend, join a group, or simply pick up a book. These small acts help retrain your brain to seek and enjoy a wider range of rewards. The goal isn't to eliminate pleasure, but to reclaim control. When masturbation is balanced, it fits into a bigger life full of purpose and connection. When it dominates, it shrinks your world. And while the brain is quietly adapting, there's another part of your body facing sudden, dramatic strain: your heart. Let's look at how a private act can create risks strong enough to surprise even a cardiologist. Risk 3. Heart strain and blood pressure spikes. Most men think, if I can walk, climb stairs, or do chores without trouble, then sex, alone or with a partner, must be safe. But that's not always true. What many don't realize is that climax creates a very different kind of stress on the heart. During arousal and release, your body experiences a sharp surge. Heart rate can jump by 30 to 50 beats per minute in seconds. Blood pressure rises just as fast. For a younger man with flexible arteries, that's rarely a problem. But for men over 60, especially those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, that sudden spike can be dangerous. Frank, age 72, found this out the hard way. He managed his blood pressure carefully, took his medications, and even stayed active with daily walks. Yet he began experiencing chest tightness and dizzy spells. At first, neither he nor his doctor could find a pattern. His wife noticed what he hadn't admitted, that these episodes struck soon after self-pleasure. The truth is that masturbation often happens in privacy, with little pacing or warm-up. Unlike exercise, where the body gradually adjusts, sexual release tends to hit the system all at once. The secrecy, the rush, and the tension combine into a sudden load that even a well-managed heart may struggle with. Here's what matters. If you notice chest discomfort, pounding heartbeat, dizziness, or breathlessness during or after release, do not ignore it. These may be warning signs of a heart under strain. Talking with your doctor about your sexual health is not embarrassing. It's life-saving. That doesn't mean you have to avoid sex or masturbation altogether. It means moderating intensity, giving yourself time to build up gradually, and keeping overall cardiovascular health strong. Gentle, paced arousal is far less taxing than sudden, rushed release. Your heart deserves the same care you give to your diet or exercise routine. Protecting it allows you to enjoy intimacy with confidence, not fear. And while the heart takes the immediate hit, another risk unfolds more slowly. Over time, relying on masturbation as your main stress relief can cloud your thinking, dull your focus, and weaken your emotional balance. Let's explore that next. Risk 4. Mental clarity and emotional balance. Many men tell me, Doctor, it helps me relax. It clears my head. And in moderation, that can be true. But when masturbation becomes the go-to method for dealing with stress, loneliness, or boredom, the effect flips. Instead of clearing your mind, it can quietly cloud it. Think about David, a 69-year-old accountant. Numbers and focus were always his strengths. But in retirement, his family noticed he seemed distracted and detached, even with his grandchildren. David admitted, "I couldn't concentrate on anything else. My thoughts kept circling back, and I couldn't let go until I relieved the tension." What felt like a private solution had turned into a mental trap. Here's why. Each climax releases dopamine and endorphins, chemicals that lift mood temporarily. But if your brain learns to depend on that rush again and again, it loses flexibility. Instead of handling stress with calm focus, it defaults to a single escape route. The result? Mental fog, poor concentration, irritability, and even short-term memory slips. Over time, this cycle can eat away at emotional balance. You may notice yourself pulling back from hobbies, ignoring relationships, or feeling restless when you try to focus. It's not a character flaw. It's simply your brain stuck in a loop. The fix is to broaden your coping tools. Try mindfulness, pausing to notice your breath for even 2 minutes. Step outside for a daily walk or explore gentle practices like Tai Chi or yoga. Channel stress into creative outlets like music, painting, or journaling. Social connection is medicine too. Meet a friend, volunteer, or join a local group. These practices feed the brain steady, healthy rewards and retrain it to handle stress without leaning solely on sexual release. Pleasure still has its place. But when it becomes your only comfort, it shrinks your emotional world. Balance restores clarity, focus, and confidence. And sometimes, the body gives you visible clues when balance is lost. For some men, it shows up in the mirror through hair thinning that accelerates faster than expected. That's the next hidden risk. Risk 5. Accelerated hair loss. Most men assume hair loss is written in their genes. My father went bald, so I will too. While genetics play a role, your daily habits can quietly speed up the process. And one of those habits is frequent self-pleasure. Here's how it works. Every climax temporarily shifts hormone levels. Testosterone rises, and more importantly, so does a byproduct called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. DHT attaches to hair follicles and slowly shrinks them. Normally, this takes years. But when hormone spikes happen again and again without enough recovery, that slow march can suddenly accelerate. James, a 73-year-old retired teacher, came to me worried. His hair had always thinned slowly, but in just 6 months, he noticed his temples and crown disappearing. He thought it was just age catching up. But when we talked through his habits, it became clear that daily release was pushing those hormonal swings into overdrive. This doesn't mean masturbation alone makes you bald. It means that if you're already genetically vulnerable, frequent release can act like pouring fuel on the fire. Here's what helps. First, give your body breaks. Every other day or less allows hormone levels to stabilize. Keep a small journal for a few weeks and note how your hair responds. Some men are surprised at how much difference moderation makes. Second, talk with your doctor. There are safe medications, like finasteride, that block DHT and protect hair follicles. Third, support your hair from the inside. Zinc, biotin, and lean protein all strengthen hair at the root. And managing stress keeps cortisol in check, which also supports hormone balance. The bigger point is this. Hair loss doesn't have to feel like punishment or fate. It can be a signal, your body's way of telling you to slow down and rebalance. But while hair changes affect how you look, there's another consequence that cuts straight to the heart of masculinity itself. Frequent, repetitive stimulation can quietly weaken the very erections you count on. And that's what we'll uncover next. Risk 6. Weakening erection quality. Many men assume weaker erections come from age or low testosterone alone. Those factors matter? Yes. But they aren't the whole story. What often gets overlooked is how your own habits train your brain and body. Here's the reality. The nervous system learns patterns. If you repeatedly stimulate yourself the same way, same grip, same pace, same fantasy, your brain carves a deep groove in its wiring. Over time, arousal begins to depend on that single route. The moment a real partner enters the picture, with different timing and sensations, your body struggles to adapt. Michael, age 66, experienced this firsthand. After his marriage ended, he was eager to reconnect with intimacy. But in private, his erections felt strong, while with a partner, they were weak and unreliable. It was humiliating, or he told me. I felt like I'd lost my manhood. The truth was not failure, it was conditioning. His body had simply grown too used to one pattern. Doctors call this decline in firmness, reduced erection quality. It's not permanent damage, it's adaptation. And the good news is that you can retrain your system. Here's how. Reset. Take 7 to 14 days off from any stimulation. Think of it as a reboot for your nerves. Switch the routine. When you return, change touch, angle, and pace to break old patterns. Slow down. Mindfulness, focusing on sensation instead of rushing, helps restore sensitivity. Simulate connection. Use sounds, movement, or even touch styles that mimic partner intimacy. Shift focus. Make the journey, not just the climax, the goal. Men who practice this approach often report firmer erections, greater control, and a deeper sense of confidence. What feels broken is usually just a nervous system that needs retraining. The message here is powerful. Even at 60, 70, or beyond, your body can adapt in positive ways. You are not at the mercy of decline. You can rewire yourself for strength. And when we put all 6 risks together, from fatigue and brain chemistry to heart health, mental clarity, hair loss, and erection quality, the picture becomes clear. Let's step back and see how it all connects. Now that we've walked through the 6 hidden risks, it's time to see the larger pattern. Each risk isn't separate. They reinforce one another. Think of it this way. Frequent release spikes cortisol, leaving you tired. Fatigue makes you skip exercise, which weakens circulation. Poor circulation strains the heart and slows erection strength. Meanwhile, repeated stimulation reshapes your brain's reward system, creating mental fog and draining motivation. Hormonal swings push DHT higher, accelerating hair loss. One habit, left unchecked, quietly ripples through nearly every system in your body. But here's the encouraging part. The reverse is also true. When you slow the cycle and give your body recovery time, those benefits ripple outward too. Within days, energy feels steadier. Within weeks, your brain begins rewiring toward balance. In a few months, circulation improves, erections strengthen, and confidence returns. That's the power of synergy, small changes building into big results. And the benefits reach further than the bedroom. Men who practice moderation often report clearer focus, stronger muscles, healthier hearts, and even sharper memory. Why? Because hormones, circulation, and the nervous system are all connected. When you take care of one, you naturally take care of the others. The big picture is this. Masturbation isn't the enemy. Isolation, excess, and lack of awareness are. When you treat self-pleasure as part of a balanced lifestyle, alongside movement, nutrition, rest, and connection, it shifts from a drain to a source of vitality. This stage of life isn't about decline. It's about adjusting the way you live so your body and mind work with you, not against you. And that brings us to the final piece, a message of hope. Because even if you've struggled with these issues for years, it's not too late to turn the page. Gentlemen, here's the truth. Masturbation after 60 is not good or bad. It's a tool. Like any tool, it can build or it can break, depending on how you use it. Too often, men assume decline is inevitable. They accept fatigue, weaker erections, or fading confidence as the price of age. But what we've uncovered today is that much of this is not fate, it's habit. and habits can be reshaped. Your body is still adaptable. Your brain is still capable of rewiring. Your heart still responds to care. Your muscles still grow with movement, and your sexual vitality can be restored with intention. This stage of life isn't about giving up pleasure. It's about enjoying it in ways that strengthen you, not weaken you. I've seen men in their late 70s and even 80s regain energy, rebuild intimacy, and rediscover joy simply by bringing balance and awareness back to their habits. You are not behind. You are not broken. You still deserve strength, connection, and fulfillment. So here's your action step. Treat self-pleasure with respect. Space out your sessions, care for your circulation, keep your mind sharp, and never be afraid to talk openly with your doctor. Your health is not a secret. It's your foundation for the life you want to live. If this message resonated, leave a yes in the comments or share your experience so other men know they're not alone. Don't forget to subscribe because in our next video, I'll reveal a natural 7-second method that's already helping countless men restore firmness and confidence without medication. Remember, it's never too late to feel strong, confident, and alive in every sense. This next chapter is still yours to shape.